Welcome back to another SuperCoach video with me, JD. You're joining me for the round 21 review, where we scored a 24.86, dropping me 132 places, which is kind of surprising. I thought it was on for a good week. Hit the Bont vice captain, which was the advice from the video last week, but it did not come out too strong in the end. And really, I think it comes down to the forward line absolutely dying, which we'll show in a second. And then missing maybe a couple of the big ceiling scores. When looking at the team of the week here, like Whitfield, I feel like I talk about him every week at the moment, but not having Whitfield and having a 100 in his place hurts. LDU hit a 140 is a pretty popular option. Young's pretty popular, 125. So missing out on some of these good scores. And don't get me wrong, I had lots of good scores myself, but I mean, this defense is like 3 120s and 150, and I benched my only 120, so yeah, that hurts. So oh, I know I did have one. I had Stewart, but yeah, as you can see, I benched Houston. I was looped Houston Ryan in the end, and it looked like I was gonna keep Houston off, and then he junked I think like 50 points in the last quarter in a dead game, which is pretty crazy, and it unfortunately forced me to bench Ryan. I mean, I guess I could have benched Martin, but I thought with Ridley out, he'd move to halfback and score better. And sure enough, when he was on the halfback, he actually did score very well. They just didn't do that for enough of the game. But Don's got a win, so that's pretty nice. Yeah, Ryan had a good score this week. So yeah, benching that, losing points there hurts. But scrolling down, you can see the big pain point this week was Jackson Curnow. So, I mean, what Darcy Moore was a popular option. Did he ton up? Oh, I think he got close to it, right? Oh, sorry, not Darcy. I keep saying Darcy every time. Dillmore. Yeah, 94. So, that's like 60 something points over Curnow. And then, I mean, any other option apart from Jackson would have been pretty decent. Simpkin would have been another 30 points. So if you like I lost 20 in defense, plus there's other big players, another 80 in the forward line, that's 110. That means you're going up rather than down. So yeah, bit painful, and I think English was worse than some of the other rock options this week. But I mean, otherwise, like it really wasn't too bad of a week. Just a few things went against me. It felt like on the end. Otherwise, would have been in for a pretty big one. But all the mids effectively tonned up, apart from Dawson. Defense all tonned up, including the extra. It's just forward line particularly bad, and then missing out on some of the big scores. But those things happen. So yeah, we won't complain about it too much. We won't dwell on it. We'll move on to next week. Hopefully we get some positive variance in our way. Now, like obviously I don't have any trades, so not much for me to talk about there. I think like for those that still have trades remaining, they want to use them for luxury stuff. Who are you looking for? So in defense, just quickly have a look at all the players. But I mean, I think I'd flagged like Newman, Sinclair, these as like nice luxury ones to have. Whitfield, and I'm pretty sure they're the ones that all scored big this week. So yeah, I mean Whitfield, Newman, Sinclair all had big weeks. I had none of those. So yeah, I mean I'd still don't mind any of those. Otherwise, yeah, Sheasel, Stewart, like the other two that you want to make sure you have. So if you've got those five, I think you're going pretty well. Yeah, and then like if you've got any of Martin, Ryan, Houston, McGovern, McKercher at D6, then fine. In the midfield, I think Treloar's the one I spoke about as a nice little piece that is a good pot option to get to, and sure enough, he went big again on the week. Just go on with a 149, and their run continues to be good with Crows and another easy team. I want to say my mind, the scrolling of this does not want to work for me. That's a real shame. I feel like I've been saying this every week. Maybe I need to clear this bounce. So yeah, so Adelaide, North, and GWS last three. So I think like very nice matchups there. So yeah, still don't mind Law. Otherwise, like Brayshaw's the other one that's been particularly good, and I believe their run home is still decent as well. So Geelong, GWS, Port. So yeah, I don't mind Brayshaw as a pod as well. Otherwise, yeah, midfield went well this week. We'll take that. What's it done? It's benched Dawson. It does not like Dawson this week against the Dogs. Dogs haven't been too bad, have they? Oh no, it says they've been hard to score against. So maybe it is the move to bench him this week. Set it up a little bit differently, but yeah. Rux, yeah. So I mean, not having Marshall is bad, and it's particularly bad for the next three. It's actually probably one of the ones that you could look at as like the biggest priority. So off the top of my head, they've got Nankervis, who's been giving up points. Then they've got uh, Carlton and Geelong. So they're playing instead of the DeConing brothers, which would have been nice, like Pitnet and Stanley, which is also just as fine. So I think you can definitely go there and look at those. If you have like a Neil or anything like that, then like I think there's some concern with the GWS tags. It's probably one you can jump off. And then forwards. So yeah, I mean I think the top five are Flanders, Zorko, Caldwell, Heaney, Moore, which we've talked about. And then F6 a bit of pick your poison. I think obviously Simpkin's been all right. I think he's got probably one more good week in him this week against the West Coast Eagles, and then probably not much from here to the end. So yeah, like I think just having the extra there and being able to loop each week would be pretty handy. I know what people jumped on. What's his face? Draper. He's been all right. Still don't know if I'd go there personally. Hogan's been good. Yeah, I mean it's just going to be a bit of a crapshoot each week on which key forward pops off. So you just got to hope you got the good ones, I guess. Baker had a nice week. It would have been good to have. Peatling was good. Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, it's really I think about having the big five. Oh, Philippou was right as well. So if you're looking for a cheap option, Philippou still seems to make sense. And really, that's it. Like, there's not a ton to actually talk about this week in terms of trades. If you've got some luxury ones, you can use them. I don't think there was any real big injury news either, from what I remember, which is nice after a couple of weeks of carnage. At least, for a team that's jumped down to zero, I want to avoid that for the rest of the way home. So really just looking to set up the side now and put some VCC action on. And wow, it's got Kerno, Optimize has got Kerno predicted behind Dowling, which I mean, that would have been the right call this week. Could have got used those extra 11 points. Now with the way it's all set up, actually I'm going to struggle to loop them right because I don't have a forward loophole that would play during that time, which is a shame because I would very much like that to happen. I can't loop the Rucks this week because Livingston's playing the same time as the other two. I mean, Dawson is not the best loophole option. Probably want someone else looped first. I'll have a look at that in a second. Do they tag Dacos? Probably. I mean, could like Dacos be the one that you potentially bench this week as a sneaky fade option? I think that could happen. All right, I'm gonna have to look at the setup there later. Last thing to discuss really is vice captain, captain this week. We'll keep it nice and short, wrap you up in and out, bing bang done. So Sydney Collingwood on Friday night. This is feels like a pretty must-win game for the Swans, and the Pies will be coming down off the highs of the Carlton upset, which was a nice to see. So I think Goulden looks interesting here to me as a vice captain option. Could definitely see some merit in that. Fast forwarding, so Dunkley, I don't think you could trust. I mean, although with a vice captaincy, it's probably fine against GWS. Like realistically, the Bedford tag will go to Neil. So yeah, don't love Neil as an option. But then we move into the other Saturday game at the same slot, and you've got Cherry against BJ Williams. I don't think Flynn is back this week. Maybe Flynn is back, but I don't mind that. I think you could also look at Sheasel for some vice captain ceiling as well. So a couple of nice options there. Next up, you've then got Freo against Geelong. And if you still hadn't used your vice captaincy, Brayshaw in that matchup, I don't mind, but I probably wouldn't put it on Sarong. I have no trust in Sarong at all at the moment. Maybe you could consider Stewart, but yeah, probably not touching like a Ryan type either. Essendon and Gold Coast. Like vice captain on merit there probably makes sense as well. It's good Gold Coast away from home. They haven't been tagging as far as I'm aware, unless it's changed. I mean, it's not like I've been going out of my way to watch Gold Coast game. So yeah, like Merritt is a vice captain option there, potentially a captain option as well. Melbourne Port, like maybe Gorn is interesting there as the other game at the same time. But I'd probably just like rather straight up have Merritt. I guess the hard thing is like Butters is probably interesting against Melbourne as well. They might tag. So yeah, like I think that's kind of interesting there. And then Sunday, you've got Carlton against the Hawks. So I probably wouldn't be touching Cripps or Walsh if you're an owner. Richmond against St Kilda. And I think you could put the C on Marshall if you wanted to. And then to finish out the week, you've got Dogs, Crows. So that should be a positive matchup as well. I mean, like you could captain Bont. I always feel a little bit strange captaining someone coming off a big score like this because it's rare that they back it up. But yeah, Adelaide hasn't exactly been hard to score on. So a Merritt into Bont looks reasonable for me this week, but I don't mind Goulden. I don't mind, yeah, maybe a Cherry or a Sheasel. Apparently it's Sherry, not Cherry, but yeah, like Sherry or a Cheasel. Um, and yeah, really, that's it this week. This forwards that I'm gonna have to figure out later because even like, yeah, these two can't be looped, which is a shame. Can I loop Luke Jackson? I can. So I'll loop. I'm just straight fielding Kerno, which is not good. Can't seem to play away from Marvel at the moment. So yeah, maybe I can loop like Jackson and Dowling. That's potentially an option. Yeah, all right. That's the team for the week. Hope you're doing well. Hope you had a good one. Of course, if you do have any trades or targets that you're weighing up that you'd like to discuss, please let me know in the below. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.